I hereby call to order this June 16th, 2025 Whitman Housing Authority meeting. This meeting is being recorded. Roll call. Patty, are you here?
Present.
Michelle, are you here? Ann, are you here?
Here.
Terry, are you here?
Here.
All present and accounted for. Before we get into the meeting of the minutes, we need to reorganize the board. Do I hear any motions?
I will make a motion that we leave the board the way it is at this point.
I'll second the motion that we leave the board
As
as
is.
it is.
Motion by Patty, second by Terry, that, and chairperson, chairwoman, Catherine Kelleher, vice chairwoman, Patricia McKay, treasurer, Teresa Linsky, assistant treasurer, Michelle Frazier. All in favor?
Aye.
We all keep our seats.
Thank you.
Board review and vote the minutes of the regular board meeting for May 19th, 2025.
I reviewed that. I'll make a motion that we accept the board minutes from May 19th, 2025.
Second motion.
Motion by Patty, second by Michelle, that we approve the minutes of the meeting for May 19th, 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
Listen, guys, real quick. If you see any spelling errors, let me know about them, because, like, my spelling is not as good as it used to be. So sometimes I have to go to my phone and put it in my phone to see if it autocorrects.
Okay. Okay.
Malnutrition will do that to your brain. Financial reports. We will do them in ABC order. A, May 2025 vouchers. B, April and May 2025 bank balances. C, April 2025 financial statements.
Any questions on the checks?
Nope.
So I did have to renew, well, I had to, where is it? A CD came due, so I got the best that I could, which was 4% interest, so I rolled it over for 12 months.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I just got 3.92, so 4% is good.
yeah.
Yep. Nice. I'm assuming that was Rockland Federal Credit Union.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it's a
They
good
always
guess.
have the best.
I know.
Unless you want to go with, like, some credit card company
No,
names, and I'm like,
I don't trust
"Ah,
those.
me either,
I don't
me
trust
either."
them. No.
They're very nice.
Yeah, I never worked there. I'll make a motion that we accept financial reports A, B, and C. May 2025 vouchers, April and May 2025 bank balances, April 2025 financial statements.
Motion by Patty, second by Ann to accept the financial reports A, B, and C. All in favor?
Aye.
Board review and vote to approve the certificate of final completion on the Pine Circle Creative Placement Making Project 338082 pending architect's approval.
Which is done.
Yay.
Architect approved.
You guys should drive through and take a look at the garden. If the guys, oh my God, they did an amazing job the other day. It looks so good.
Nice. Finally, after all this time, finally
I
completed.
know, it's been like 4 years.
Yeah,
Feels
4
like
years.
it.
4 years.
Now, where exactly is it located at?
Down, if you go down the access road,
Yeah.
that brings you to Pine Circle.
Yeah.
So it's right off of the access road. You can see it on your
Okay.
right hand side. and then you can see the exercise equipment on the left-hand side. But yeah, the guys did an amazing job.
Is anybody using it?
The the butterfly garden? They can walk through it, or they
Okay.
can walk around it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks really, really nice. It's really making the property look a lot better.
And the equipment's in, right?
Yep, the equipment's in.
Okay. Nice. I'll gladly make a motion to approve the certificate of completion on the Pine Circle Creative Placemaking Project number 338082, pending architect's approval, which has already been approved. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I second the motion, we accept the certificate of final completion on the Pine Circle Creative Placemaking Project, number 338082.
Motion by Patty, second by Terry to approve the certificate of final completion on the Pine Circle Creative Placement Project 338082, pending architect's approval, which was approved. I'm so glad I don't have to say that ever again, I hope.
Great.
All in favor?
Aye.
Was it stocked with butterflies?
No. It's just some of the plantings attract
Will
butterflies.
attract- There's a place,
Oh, okay.
there's a place like that in Abington over by the police station. You can actually see butterflies flying around it when you drive by. Across from the water. Yeah.
Board review and vote to approve the certificate of final completion on the Stetson Terrace underground wiring project number 338093, pending the engineer's approval. Has he approved yet?
Yes.
Which the engineer did approve.
Nice.
Was there a punch list with that you were waiting for John to?
Yeah, there was a few items. I think there was 4 items. He did a first punch list, and then there was only 2 items on it. But then John found 2 more. So the first one was finished, and then we had a second punch list. And so I believe that it's done. I know John went down and looked the other day.
No one can use the swing back?
Hmm?
No one can use the swing back to its place?
Is that in the square?
There's one right in front of my window right now.
Oh, there is. Oh, it's right in front of your window, like in the back of it.
It got moved for work, and it will be put back exactly in the exact same spot.
Let me write.
Because
that-
there is an order that says that.
They fix your, puddle, the divot inside of the ground, now that's right back there.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the certificate of completion on the Stetson Terrace underground wiring project 338093, and it's already has engineer's approval.
Second.
Motion by Patty, second by Michelle. And ladies, you don't have to repeat the whole question. I'll do it again at the end, unless you would like to.
So the first time is okay, Chairwoman? But on the first motion, it's okay if I say
Yes.
it?
Yes.
But on the second time, it doesn't need to be repeated. Is that what you mean?
You don't have to read the entire question, because I'll read it at the beginning and the end, unless you would like to.
Okay.
But I am so glad I'll never have to say 338082.
Right.
Motion by Patty, second by Michelle, to approve the underground wiring certificate of final completion on the Stetson Terrace underground wiring project 338093, pending engineer's approval, and he did approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Question. Did Comcast fix all the cable wires on the property and the cable's working good now?
But it's a mess there, right? The wires are still all hanging out.
No.
Not where you are.
Ceiling.
So I called. I had Comcast number. I had the guy's name and everything, and so we called, me and John, and I think it was some guy that was selling Comcast or something. I don't know. So anyway, so then someone had called back, and we figured out that we have the wrong person. But yeah, John's not happy with some of the wiring that's showing from Comcast. So maybe it's not around Building 3.
I remember, like, right out in the front, there was some wire, but I think it's gone. or else I'm just oblivious to it now.
I'll talk. Well, actually, John's off tomorrow. He's off for next few days. I'll check with him and find out if they did in fact come. If the right person ended up calling and coming and taking care of it, because I think it was just a mess looking. Because instead of putting it, I don't know what they put it in around
It all went underground, right?
Comcast. Yeah, I guess, but there's probably still wiring that comes up to the top where they can. Where they hook people up or whatever. So,
But I think they usually put a box around it.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And I think it was all sticking out of the box or something.
Oh.
So,
It's Comcast for you.
yeah. But anyway, so I'll look into that just to make sure that that was finished. I'm gonna leave myself a note.
I did do a motion on number 7, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you all approved it. And if there's wires hanging out, John will get to the bottom of it. I want to go watch the entertainment. Board review and vote let's try this again. Board review and vote to write off uncollectible rents for fiscal year ending 2025. A, elderly state housing is 0. Elderly federal housing is 0. State property fraud uncollectible $8,063.60. State family eviction uncollectible $18,874.81.
So this is obviously a significant amount of money. The first one for fraud was unreported income. That person up and left. So we're not going to ever see that again. And then the other families that we had issues with them paying their rent, they were evicted. So we'll never see it again. They were under court order. Actually, we had taken them to court. There was a repayment agreement that both parties signed, and they did not stay according to the court order. So we moved forward with eviction, and so right now we have a lot of family units that came available, which is very unusual. We didn't have one for probably 2 or 3 years. But yeah, it's a significant amount of money. Am I happy about it? Absolutely not. I spoke with Kerry, and we just got to move faster. We can't keep, trying to accommodate them.
Well, by the looks of these numbers, it looks like it started, not to blame COVID, but it looks like it might have started in that
It did.
COVID era.
It did.
And then it just kept going and going.
Right, because people were not getting evicted, for 3 years because of COVID. Everybody, everything was on hold. So all housing authorities have seen an increase.
Yeah.
And it started with COVID. It really did.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately,
How many family units was that?
for the fraud or the
For the eviction.
for the evictions, I had 1, 2. I think that was 3 families for the evictions, and the fraud was probably 2. I think.
Yeah, because you run a Department of Revenue, and if they don't report their income,
Yep. Yeah. So we do a wage match every year. So if someone's working, we know where they're working and how much they made over the past 4 quarters.
Yeah.
So sometimes they just kind of think they don't have to inform us, even though they get notices and reminders that they need to do that. So.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we write off the uncollectible rent FYE 2025.
A second.
Motion by Patty, second by Ann. We hereby write off uncollectible rent for fiscal year 2025. A, B, C, and D. All in favor? Wow. It's the most I've ever seen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Does just, go ahead.
No, I mean, this is just unusual and probably pertaining to COVID.
So during COVID, we could not evict anyone.
Right.
We had some people that thought, you know what, we don't have to pay rent, so they didn't. I had someone, it took us 3 years to evict, didn't make one payment in 3 years. But you couldn't do anything about it. The courts are not as tough as they used to be. And so it does hurt the housing authority. But like I said, I spoke with my employee who handles the accounts receivable, and I said, we gotta move faster. And we gotta let them know from day one, we're not gonna put up with it. Usually when the family leases up, I make sure I tell them, listen, number one thing is pay your rent. Pay your rent first before you do anything else, because you will never come to the top of anybody's list again. Because now we're up to over 53,000 people on our waiting list. So if you are not wise enough to pay your rent, then it's on you.
Yeah, that's sad how these people lost their low-income housing.
Yeah.
So how are they gonna pay more out
Right,
in the
right.
market?
And so, and I tell them, I say that I just want to let you know that the decision for you to be evicted came from you.
Yeah.
That's right.
You knew that we weren't going to allow that to continue, and so you made a decision to be homeless.
Even if they had stuck to the repayment plan, they'd have been fine.
Yep.
So are the units all totaled? You have to rehab all the units?
Yeah, we got a lot going on right now. South Ave is empty and needs a ton of work.
Yeah, well, that's a historical. Right?
Well, it's 1895. It's not historical, but John and I are working to try to get as much funding as we can for it. There's a vacancy initiative program that I think I can get 5% of what my formula funding is in addition. Which would only be like $7,500, but that would help towards at least one floor of new windows, because both floors need new windows. I have the lean energy program is going to remove the old knob and tube wiring and replace with new. That'll be done for free. There's a lot of programs out there, and I'm trying to go for everyone I can.
Right.
And insulation?
Yeah, so once the knob and tube is done, then the insulation can be installed. You can't put insulation in there if there's old knob and tube. The old knob and tube has to come out. So, and then from there, when that's done, then we will get the air source heat pumps, because all the exterior walls will be insulated, and therefore I'm not setting up a family to fail.
Right.
By giving them the air source heat pumps. If it's insulated, then it should be hopefully
Tighter.
Yeah, definitely be tighter. They get a if they pay their heat, I think they get, and it's air source heat pumps. I want to say 3-bedroom might be $1,800 a year as a deduction in their rent. So. But yeah, there's a lot that we want to do. We're going to try to get everything done. I just spoke with someone today about the wiring, because both units are empty. So he's like, "That's awesome. I'm just going to get approval, and hopefully he's going to get back to me tomorrow, the next day, and they'll schedule that. And then John and Zach and Mike or whatever can get in there and start painting and trying to do some of the repairs in those units."
So those new oil furnaces that we put in not too long ago were null and void?
Well, HLC wants all oil gone. It's part of their thing. I remember I wanted to get gas.
I remember that. They were on
Mass
strike.
Electric was on strike.
Right.
And so the oil heaters they're down in the cellar, which you have to go outside to get down to them. And I think the SOP comes if we do all the installation and we do everything right, that the cost should not be like it was at Pine Circle. I mean, at Stetson Terrace. And Stetson Terrace has all been insulated in the roof, so that should keep the heat in. They're sized appropriately for the units, so we should see a significant decrease. And I'm waiting to see it. I have to see it to believe it. But we should definitely see a decrease in the electric bills. So.
How about those fraud units, are they all trash too?
What?
The units that were, the $8,000 for the uncollectible fraud family units?
That one, she moved out a long time ago, so that one's already been released and all that stuff. There wasn't a lot of damage on that one.
That's good.
Any other questions?
Nope.
It's just so sad. Board review and vote to approve the certificate of completion and the notarization process for federal and state lead paint laws. Signature of board members will be required.
First, real quick, did you get unanimous vote on that one? The last one, Kathy? I didn't write it down.
Let's go back to question 8.
I believe I made a motion
Patty
Yes.
did first.
to write off the uncollectible rate.
All in motion to write that off.
I,
Yes, I did, and they all said yes.
All right, awesome, thank you.
okay. Good.
Okay, so in regards to certification of compliance for under state and federal lead paint laws, in all of our units are new lease-ups. They are signing off that we either know that there was lead paint and it was removed, and we have those inspection reports, or they were built after 1978, so there isn't any, but they're given that information all
Oh, and the lead disclosure.
yeah, the lead disclosure. So, and then we keep them on file too.
Right.
So I do need signatures from everyone, all the board, if you are in agreement that that we do everything
I
correctly.
do see one typo on this, secretary, comma, ex officio. I think, officio?
That actually didn't even come from me, Patty.
Oh, it came from the state?
From the
I
state.
apologize. Okay, well, you said something about spelling errors, so I didn't know. Okay.
I don't even know what that. I don't know what that means.
I think it's supposed to say, well, you know what, that could actually be a title.
Yeah, I think it
It could
is.
actually be a title, official. Okay.
And this is one of those questions that we have to agree to because it's the law, and you'll see those come up and go.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion to approve the certificate of compliance with the notification procedures for federal and state paint laws.
A second motion?
Motion by Patty, second by Terry. The board will review and vote to approve the certificate. Let's try that again. Certificate of final completion of the notification process. I just said that's all right. For the federal and state lead paint laws, signature of the board is required. All in favor?
Aye.
Would you like us to sign, ma'am?
Yep.
I'll sign this ex officio.
I already
Ex
signed it. I think that's
officio.
I would definitely have to Google that.
Ask Michelle.
Ex officio.
I believe that's correct.
I believe it must be a typo. Yes. And how would you know that? What, you just know it by the way? Oh,
She's got a
she's wicked smart.
She's got a good degree in teaching and her specialty is English.
But she's wicked smart.
She's great to have around as a friend. When you're a terrible speller, she's wicked smart.
I like to say wicked smart.
So misspell something on Facebook and you will stand corrected.
Yeah, no
I'm
kidding.
kidding.
No kidding. I sent one of my tenants a message today, and I was trying to say doorknob, and the word knob corrected to the word KNOW 3 times. Big difference between no and knob.
Oh,
Knob is not light. By telephones. It's always a lock on a knob.
Thank you. Everybody. Awesome.
Use restriction.
I don't have a screwdriver.
What's going on, Kathy?
This screw is coming out of the chair.
Oh,
Can we put that on the list for John too, or put it out of the way so nobody sits on it?
Yeah, after I sit on it.
No, we're gonna give you another chair and we're
No,
gonna
I'm
turn that
fine.
upside down.
is it doing any? Is it?
No, it was just I put my hand behind
Oh, and,
and it was hanging out, so I thought I could tighten it, but
Is it hand tightened? Do you want another chair?
no, it's under. No, it's fine.
Okay. Don't want anybody else
But it's
sitting on it. and
it's
falling.
now under the.
It's under control.
See?
It's under control.
I won't lean back.
Well, I think we should turn it upside down before we leave.
We will.
Thank you. Affordable use restriction.
I'm surprised you guys don't have on winter coats.
Not a t-shirt.
It is chilly.
That's cute.
It's like,
Free Karen Reed.
oh, I didn't know it said that.
Of course it does. I'm dressed for the trial. Told you I was on jury duty all day. I was exhausted. I was on jury duty all day. I'm exhausted. All right, we're on number 10, huh?
Everybody's signing.
Nice. Do you have it back all signed?
Hmm?
Do you have
No, I do not.
Huh? I got it all signed.
Oh, you didn't say that.
Oh, yeah, Terry.
I didn't see you hand it. I was fixing the chair.
When you that, you're like,
I know. I was waiting for you to get it all back. I was fixing the
We're just glad you're
chair.
not on the floor.
I know.
I'm not.
No, we're gonna hide that chair someplace so nobody sits in it tomorrow.
There's other screws in it. I just don't. I
Right.
thought I could fix it, and I don't have a screwdriver with me.
I wouldn't trust it, just in case.
All right. This one looks like fun. Board vote to adopt the current affirmative action
Nope.
goal.
Sorry,
10.
number 10.
Oh, did someone make a motion?
No, we didn't read it yet.
We have it reviewed.
Yes, I did. They just signed it.
No, that was for
That was
the.
number-
Oh,
paint.
I'm sorry.
You're tired, Kath. That was number 9.
My brain
I know.
punched out
I know.
a while ago. Let's go back. Board vote to accept, to certify the Whitman Housing Authority is in compliance with the affordable use restrictions for Harvard Court project-based Section 8 property.
So Harvard Court, when EOHLC no longer oversaw it, we do every year have to certify that it will remain affordable housing for as long as, I don't know, forever, I guess.
All right, so there are no changes to this.
No, I just have to certify every year.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Ann, second by Patty, that I grow a brain. Board vote to certify the Whitman Housing Authority is in compliance with the affordable use restrictions of Harvard Court project-based Section 8 property. All in favor?
Aye. It looks like you have to sign it, Chairwoman.
And they all said to sign it, so I'm signing it. Signed.
Thank you.
Now, let's try that again. Board vote to adopt the current affirmative action goals for the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities. The Whitman Housing Authority goal is 18.2% of the population age 55 or older with minority race.
Ethnicity.
I was waiting for Ruthie to. Ethnicity. 34.3% of the family population under the age of 55 with the minority race and ethnicity.
So these are the goals of HLC. We have been in compliance with them, I think every year. This year we have dropped down a little bit on our elderly. So we have to be actively looking now. Harvard Court is not part of this because it's considered federal. So it's on the state side. So we will do our best to meet that goal. I think we might be 17%, so we're not off by a lot.
Right.
Could be wrong though. I could be wrong. I gotta do
It
this
doesn't even
calculation.
account for, disabled. It's just ethnicity, minority, and race. Interesting.
So I do have to meet a goal for disabled.
Oh, okay.
It's like 13.5%
Okay.
disabled. I have to meet that goal also, but it's not something that I have to report. They don't ask for the report on this.
Strange.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is what their initiative is, so.
yeah. It
That's
hasn't changed. This is kind of
It's
old.
up to the company that pulls the CHAMP application, that they need to pull them.
So when we do a pull list, if we have not met our goal, then we can do a pull list that will include minorities.
Okay.
So the ones that will be on that list for are minorities. So yeah.
Okay.
So would you say Whitman is meeting those goals?
So we are over on family. I think we're at 40%. Under the family, we are down on the elderly by, I don't know exactly how much, but I think we could use maybe 3 tenants.
Yeah,
What is it?
the elderly.
Yeah.
You're only off by 1% or 2%.
I think it's a little bit more.
To meet the quota.
Yeah, so the state, they go by the area, the county, all that stuff, and so they go by what was.
Yeah, if you look at the Boston numbers, they're drastically different.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Well,
So we don't get in trouble if we haven't met the goal as long as we're trying. So we have to show that we're doing poll lists,
okay.
that we are actively trying to do that.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll make a motion that we adopt the current affirmative action goal.
I'll second the motion that we accept the affirmative action goal.
Motion by Patty, second by Terry, that we accept the affirmative action goals. All in favor?
Aye.
So the three elderly are of minority status that
So-
Whitman is under?
So only gonna be looking at the state, so they would be looking at Stetson Terrace and Pine Circle.
Yeah.
So, Harvard Court is federal, and, therefore they do not require that we actively, look for, to meet the, minority thing.
So if we have openings, you have to meet that code, you have to go to that minority list, even if other people have been longer or approved or whatever.
Matters on how much you're down. So if we do a pull list and we get, maybe 5 or 6 people that, have all the paperwork in, we could then do that. Harvard Court, federal is different, so federal does not require this. It's only the state side that does. So we have a year to work on that. We had met the goal last year, and then we probably had some people that passed away or moved away. Don't usually move, usually passed away. So if that's the case, then we need to start working on that. So it's not that we have to do it all at the same time. We have a year to make that goal. So we're not there right now, but we are trying. So, and that's all we need to show is that we are making an attempt.
I think it was motioned and second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, wait a minute. What did I do with my...
When you guys are talking, I just keep listening.
Okay. I'm looking for the public housing notices that.
Board vote to accept the following public housing notices. PHN 2025-06, preventative maintenance planning criteria.
Okay, so this is the first time. So every year when we have a performance management review, EOHLC wants to see that we have a preventive maintenance plan. Going forward, they want to see that we actually have done what we said we were going to do. So we do, we do the fire alarm systems. They have to be tested twice a year. We do cleaning out the drainage, the sewerage out. We do that. There's a lot of things that we do. We check the emergency lights in the buildings, like here at Harvard Court and at Pine Circle. So there's a long list of preventive maintenance things. So we always want to make sure that our tenants are safe and that all inspections have been done, like elevator inspections and things like that. So there's a lot. So this year is the first year that they're actually going to be saying, I want to see the receipts. I want to see that it was done, who did it, when it was done.
Checks and balances.
Yep.
Very good.
Are there any other questions on question 12?
Okay.
I make a motion to accept public housing notice 2025-06, preventive maintenance plan year criteria.
Second.
Motion by Michelle, second by Patty, that we accept the public housing notice PHN 2025-06, the preventative maintenance planning year criteria. All in favor?
Aye.
Executive Director's Report.
I didn't have time to look at it today, so I have to relook at it again. Okay, so in a change to a public housing notice, the state wants to, they're making some changes to, I think it's section 5.0. They're changing, they want, instead of to limit the number of wait list that you're on to just the cities or towns that you want to live in. They are now requiring that you have at least 26. Don't
26.
26.
That's a wide
Which
range.
is ridiculous because we have so many people that we send out all these packets to. We could have a packet that's this high. You send them out. Some of those people, they don't even know where Whitman is, nor are they going to fill them out. So it's right now it's in the process of, making comments. So I'm definitely going to send a comment that says it shouldn't say that you have to have a minimum of 26. It should be that you have a maximum of 25 or something. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think that it's ridiculous.
That is so
housing
much
authorities-
money for you to spend on postage
lot of
and
postage out.
printing and
Oh, yeah.
paper.
Yeah, and like I said, some people are desperate, so they'll put their name on every single list. But when they get a packet, and they might be getting packets from 20 at the same time. They're all confused.
Agawam, Ethel.
Yep.
Right.
So anyway,
Did they say what the new cap would be on how many towns you can apply to?
no. So the way it was worded was really weird because it sounded as if they were limiting you, but it said that they were going to limit it, but that you had to have at least 25 or 26 housing authorities checked off. So I'm like, it doesn't even make any sense to me. I don't know whether somebody made an error or what, but it makes absolutely no sense to
People
me.
want to live where they want to live, and it's usually within one to two counties.
Right.
Yeah, but it says it's going to include a housing finder which shows the map of where the communities are in relation to the applicant.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know. So right now it's in the process that in the comment process for housing authorities and other management companies and what they think about it and is it going to work or isn't it going to work. I think to force someone to check off 26 housing authorities when they only want to live in Whitman, Abington, or Hanson, then if you've got them on another 23 lists, I mean, when someone does a pull list and then they're sending them out to them, they don't want to be, in say Quincy,
Right. Or they don't have family there, or
Right,
whatever
right.
the
They're not close to
situation,
their
right.
physicians. They're not close to, friends. And,
it's crazy.
so,
But when you add up every single town or city in this state, that's a heck of a lot of money in wasted paper, ink, postage,
Yeah.
and time of assorted housing authorities.
But it's not even for so the fees are just exaggerated. Most of these people aren't going to come here.
I tell people I live here, and they're like, "Where's that?"
Let's keep this secret.
Oh, I'm trying.
Well, they do have a commuter train.
That's
Okay.
Are there any other questions about the executive director's report?
I don't. I do see it noted here that on the utilities that they're actually conceding that the price of utilities is so high because it's not really the consumption, it's more the rates. So
yeah, so
Yeah.
I definitely am going to do a study on the new ones at Stetson Terrace and see if we're seeing a difference. I do know that the person who's in one of the head guys in the lean program said they were oversized. They should not have been put into apartments as small as they are at Stetson Terrace. It just wasn't correct. Also,
Probably so new 10 years ago.
they were.
Exactly.
And so the air source heat pumps, like even this one, it's on an exterior wall. They're putting them on the interior walls now. That's supposed to make a difference. So anyway, so we'll see what happens. Stetson Terrace is once again the guinea pig on this, but I'm not the guinea pig, is it? Yeah, the guinea pig. Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see the costs go down. And we'll look at the, what the actual cost is from the utility company, and, how much the usage is in that. So
you
we'll,
can tell by the kilowatts.
yeah, we'll be able to tell, based on previous years and months.
Are there any other questions, comments, or concerns about the executive director's report?
No, but I'll make a motion that we accept the executive director's report.
A second that we accept the executive director's report.
Motion by Patty, second by Terry, that we accept the executive director's report. All in favor?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you. In the interest of time and efficiency, the board may be asked to vote on construction, change orders, certificates of substantial completion, or final completion.
Okay, and we do not have any.
We don't have any.
Just in case, because then it holds up payments and everything for like a month.
So do I hear a motion that we don't have any?
Yes. I make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Ann, second by Patty. In the interest of time and efficiency for the board may vote on construction, change orders, certificates of final completion, and substantial completion. We don't have any. All in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence.
Nope.
None.
Any new business? Anything you ladies would like to discuss, comment on? Yes, ma'am.
I was asked to mention is that maybe a reminder could go out that alcohol consumption is only in apartments.
Say that again. That what?
Alcohol consumption
Oh,
is only
oh,
in apartments, not in gazebos. Yeah,
No outdoor drinking.
right.
I will go into that. Alcohol consumption and the smoking of marijuana is not allowed outside or in your units or in the gazebo or on Stetson Terrace or Pine Circle property. Even though it is a Massachusetts state law that it is legal in your home, that's if you own your home and have permission from your landlord. As the landlords, we said no.
But we didn't.
We did. When we discussed the smoking policy and that the
Well, it's
rule
not
had
inside,
changed.
right?
There
wasn't. We never did. We never banned it.
But we have smoking cigarettes. It is not in their lease. It says that they cannot. We are the landlord, and all we have to do is landlord say, no, you can't do that.
All right, but we have allowed that. So that-
Marijuana smoking
that-
in their units and on the property?
no, on the property in the gazebo area. Yeah, it's been like that for.
They
Yeah.
can drink in their units.
Right.
Oh, yes, yeah. They just drink the drinking on the lawn.
When did we say that was allowed?
It's in the policy. It's in the original policy from.
Smoking of marijuana was banned on the property. Smoking of cigarettes was in the gazebo
No.
area only.
No. I mean, I wish I could change it right now, but we can change it. We
I
have to have-
would
we
like
have-
to change. It is
All right.
not fair
Yeah.
to the tenants who live near that gazebo because they can't open their windows.
All right, so we'll probably have to do a special meeting, and I'll have to tell all the tenants that.
That means no sitting in your car drinking either, right?
Yeah.
Anywhere.
I was under the understanding that there was no, even though Massachusetts said, yes, it's legal in your own home, your landlord has to authorize it. And we had discussed this when that law first passed, and I was under the assumption we said no.
I didn't realize they couldn't.
No,
Supposed to smoke that in the gazebo, but the alcohol is, I knew that was, and there is a lot of that going on.
yeah. So
I was asked to
Well, marijuana is federally restricted. You can't even take it on an airplane.
Which means it's not allowed in Harvard Court, even though I get a phone call at least a couple times a month.
Could something with medical marijuana?
so medical marijuana. You can like get gummies or something like that. That would be on state, but if you're actively using marijuana on a federal property, then yeah. But we get to change the policy. The policy's always had it included. Yeah, it has from day one, Kathy.
I
I know you wanted to, but I don't think that we never did it.
thought we did.
Do you remember that?
I was
I mean, I
just
keep all the
thinking
notes.
that, on the state properties that they could smoke it outside.
Right.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, it kind of gets in the way of people who are not smoking it. But hopefully they're staying away from the people that aren't smoking it. I don't know.
But when you're sitting in that gazebo and everybody's smoking it, or they're smoking it outside of their unit,
So,
along with cigarettes that they've been told that they can't smoke in their unit. And if I lived in apartment 10-4 and was a non-smoker, and as the only smoker on the board, if you're a non-smoker, the smell is disgusting.
yeah.
But the smell of marijuana is not fair to the people who live in building 3, because it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's skunky.
Don't I remember talking about no smoking and drinking, like at Stetson Terrace, in the gazebo?
We've discussed no drinking before. I thought, because when this first became a Massachusetts law that you could, but then they had the ads on television, it was up to the owner of the property. And at the time,
Yeah, that policy's been the one that we've used is from the very beginning. I wish that we had done that, Kathy, but we didn't.
can we change that?
We would have
Well,
to have, so I would have to send out a notice to every tenant, and I would have to let them know that we are going to be having a discussion with all tenants that want to show up. But I can't just change a policy.
I'm sorry,
without-
I was under the impression it was a no.
Yeah, no.
What are other housing authorities doing? Do you know?
Some housing authorities don't have smoking of any kind on their property, and that's when they usually smoke it in their apartments,
Which is worse.
which is worse.
Right.
So,
There's actually, at Stetson Terrace right now, there's not very many who use the gazebo to
yes,
smoke. Like it used to be a lot more.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
there's
definitely.
Smoking elsewhere. Yeah.
And there hasn't been any complaining of any kind? Or if there hasn't been a lot of complaining, probably best to just leave it alone. I don't know.
There's no smoking here, right, at that gazebo?
They,
That is a smoking gazebo,
yeah.
but this is federal, so
Right, but
That's-
federal,
the federal law is no marijuana.
Right. So it is something that we definitely should do here. But like I said, it's a process. I can't
How do
just
you
say.
ladies feel?
I'm just wondering if there's a lot of complaints. If it's federal, it's against the law. Like I said, you cannot board a plane with marijuana. Medical marijuana, I don't know. I didn't try to board the plane with any, but
So I had questioned the someone that takes it medicinally, and I think that there are options in the sense that they can get the gummies or whatever, but that's at state only. It's a big deal to have to change it because we do have to allow all tenants to show up and give their opinions.
and there could be a lot of dissent. Okay, I'm just wondering if there's any complaints. Like if people have been complaining or...
but the tenants need somewhere to go smoke if they can't smoke in their units.
Right, they don't want...
I'm not saying ban smoking, but marijuana is a distinct smell, and I mean, I do get a lot of phone calls about it being an
Oh,
issue.
okay, so you
All
have...
right.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
yeah.
but I don't. So
But no one complains, well, let's put
they
this,
should.
I know that, I tell them that, but that's my opinion, so you guys should,
So where are they gonna smoke their marijuana? In their cars? In their units?
smoking it in their unit, no. There's no smoking in their units.
Right. I just wondered if it'll cause a bigger problem. I don't know. Your complaints are coming from where? Stetson Terrace? Or...
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's just the major thing is they just want to be reminded that mostly the alcohol and cigarette smoking, not in the gazebo, but outside other people's apartments and
Can you smell
what
marijuana?
outside the
Can you
gazebo,
smell?
can I? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
because I'm in the
expensive.
front.
It's skunky.
Not going to work, this one here.
But I also get complaints, there's a few tenants that hang outside of a unit and smoke there. I mean, as a smoker I don't smoke pot, but I do smoke cigarettes, and you do look like an idiot in a snowstorm with your bathrobe and slippers on and a coat and a hood up on your head.
Yeah.
Or when it's pelting pouring rain.
I agree.
And they're the ones who follow the rules. When they go to the gazebo, they do what they're supposed to, and they're not the ones who do say, oh, that doesn't apply to me. But the alcohol was the one I was asked to bring up because it's
Okay.
not going on from the gazebo.
There
And
it
that
is.
can cause litter too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's when we were like, if you're gonna do it in the gazebo, because it was a big party spot. And the noise and the smell and the tenants falling down, other tenants having to pick them up.
But the cigarette smoking is allowed, right? But the marijuana is not?
Well, we're gonna have,
We would have to change the policy.
Yeah, we have to change the
I was under the impression that we had, but
I'd be curious to know what other housing authorities are doing. Because then you
the majority of them, when we made this rule,
Right.
banned it on the property totally.
right. Then we have a leg to stand on if we have a meeting with all the tenants.
But then
If
we
it's
also,
every other housing authority. And I don't know.
yeah.
every housing authority is different. I know that sometimes if it's banned from the property, they're smoking in their apartments, and then you can't. You
Yeah.
have to have proof, and you can't have proof because someone said they smell it. It's not
Right.
good enough.
Could we
No one will
make
put their
a,
name on it.
Nope.
I think the more you ban it, the more they're gonna smoke in their unit, right?
Exactly.
And did you say eventually there's some new things that are going to be installed that detect cigarette smoke or something?
So I'm looking into that. I don't believe it's something that our state properties are going to be able to afford. It's going to be big money, and it has to have internet in every building. So,
Oh.
so we would have to pay for internet. So it could end up being a ton of money, and then the devices themselves, I'm not quite sure how much they cost. So it would be a significant cost. Is it something that this property could probably afford? Yeah, but not our
Just
state.
put some flunk and tell people that's what it is. Let them think.
Tell them to get a vape.
The vapes were not supposed to be used, I don't think, in the apartments either.
if you came to the office and got consent and it had to be a certain color light. So if it couldn't be red, it could be blue or it could be green, but then they banned menthol.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
That was in the original. I'm the last one left from the original.
I'd just be curious to know Abington, Hanson, West Bridgewater.
West
You know.
Bridgewater grandfathered in the tenants that were smokers, so that's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because why does that guy get to smoke when this one can't smoke? But he was here, he's been here for 15 years.
So marijuana is just the issue then. Yeah.
Can't you just restrict it to the area outside the gazebo?
But the area outside the gazebo is, depending on which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, you've smelled it, but I can live with that. But
No, the drinking is an issue. I do.
Alcohol, and somebody else had complained who just recently passed away about the smoking, not at the gazebo, but outside of their apartments, and that's not right. It's going to be
Right.
Can't. Well, maybe it was in their actual.
Right, that's why they should have it away from the units.
Right.
Maybe all smoking should just be confined to the gazebos, period.
Well, then you have
Well,
people
Then
that
people that'll complain.
people that
I
fight.
smoke my cigarettes.
They don't go there because that one's in there.
Well, you know.
but now they're fighting because this one gets drunk and that one gets drunk and then they fight. And then this one now, instead of drinking there, drinks in front of a different unit with the people that live there.
It's removed it from that shop.
Yes, it's solved a, yeah.
I know that it's policy, but I just find it very hard to believe that people actually go into a gazebo to smoke. I would think that they would just say,
They just,
Some of them do.
there's some
You know,
just.
if you're addicted to nicotine, you'll do it.
Or they get together as a group outside of another unit, which was very unfair to the poor lady who lived next door, because Stetson Terrace, I mean, your doors are right there, who was passing from cancer, that she had to put up with the smell.
That's bad.
Yeah, and if we banned cigarette smoking from this property, they'd all go stand up at the corner, and I would get nothing but complaints from the
That's right.
neighbors. So,
Oh, can you imagine what the street
Oh,
would
yeah,
look
it's like
like?
driving by Social Hospital and you see them all on Route 18 smoking, all the nurses
yeah, yeah.
out on the curb.
Those big, that the smoky when they out to the old faithfuls, they really do it. You see them back and forth on that.
And the chain smokers, boy, there's a couple down there that get their exercise.
Yeah, they do.
There's one man that gets an award because he, with his walker, from way down there to the gazebo, he gets back and 30 seconds later he's walking.
But he's following the rules.
He is following the rules.
Awesome, he's following the rules.
Now, all right, at this point now, we can discuss marijuana and everything further down the road. But the drinking is becoming a big problem.
I could kind of make a motion that maybe we could address the drinking, but maybe table the whole marijuana thing.
Well,
Can we go
I
more
would.
info?
So I would.
Well,
have
if it's
to-
our policy, then we would have to change
Yeah,
everything
so
and
we-
have
we
an
would
open
have to
meeting.
We'd have to have a tenant meeting.
Right.
Where every tenant is invited to come and,
Right.
let us know their opinion.
Well, it's not legal in the state to be drinking in public.
That's absolutely correct.
So what do you do if you rent a place and you sit outside on your front porch and have a beer?
If the landlord says it's okay,
So that's
It's okay.
That's a landlord decision?
it's the owner of the establishment.
Okay.
I would say that would be on the private property. It's not like you're out on the curb, that's public property, you can't drink.
No, if they want to put it in one of those containers, they can hide it. And put it in one of those big chill cups like I have.
State-owned property is public property.
Right.
But she's the landlord.
And it's tough because it's their home,
Yeah.
It's tough, but I can understand the alcohol. Looks bad too.
Just a reminder, for people who do go out to the gazebo all the time, they ask that I would mention it.
Yeah. The Stetson Terrace is nice. It shouldn't look like a housing project.
Well, before there was one big party out there,
That's all.
and that was just
Oh boy. Yeah, the alcohol, I can see that being an issue. That should be common sense not to drink outside, but
okay.
It's an open container law, right?
it is. Yeah, if you have an open container in your car and the keys are in the ignition, that's illegal too.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry, I went to open can for worms.
No, that's what you're here for.
It did.
We were depending on you for the worms.
Open forum. Ruthie, got anything? That is our audience. After question 18, I would like to take a quick break before we move on to question 19.
Okay.
So
I'll make a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion is hereby adjourned.